Welcome to Mondays with Maxi, coming to you after a 3-goal loss to the Western Bulldogs. Maxi, extremely disappointing. What went wrong?
Put simply, mate, we butchered the ball. We had plenty of opportunity with the footy, but we turned it over in the wrong positions, allowed the Bulldogs to score at 27.8% from their turnovers, only averaged 21%, so gave them too much opportunity. And then when we turned it over, we could only score at 15%, where we usually scored about 22%. So it's usually a strength of ours, but as you'll see in this vision, particularly going forward inside 50, we just absolutely butchered the ball. So just not good enough. I think when you look at the positioning of the Bulldogs defenders, we really failed to adjust that. Look how they're playing in front every time here. So you see Morris in both those first two clips. This one's probably a little bit more of your standard clip. We're just a shallow entry into the forward 50. But again, Easton Wood here playing in front of Alex Fasolo. They were just cutting off leads, and we kept trying to go for that hit up rather than trying to put it long out the back to advantage and try and, I guess, make them pay that way. But just poor inside 50s and poor kicking's poor football. Yeah,
absolutely, and a couple of those earlier clips where the kicks were going very wide, which didn't help either. Yeah, correct. And we know that the Bulldogs players, they love to just come through from half back, cut through the corridor. So when you turn it over in the back 50, you're giving it to Wood and Murphy and Boyd and Johannesson, and they just cut you up coming the other way. So yeah, you can't afford to kick it really poorly inside 50 like we did. Well, on a positive note, we saw the emergence of Darcy Moore. 5 goals.
He was very, very good, Darcy, and I just want to show you some clips from his first quarter here. So his first quarter, he didn't have a lot on the stat sheet, but look at this work rate. He competed at, 50 metres out. He's chased Stringer all the way out. So he's sprinted 70 metres to go and put on a chase. Again here, he's up there competing, takes a nice mark. He gets his arms like so high, they're straight up. He doesn't bother about trying to make it outside in front of his face. It's actually right up high in the air, so it's really hard to defend. But he just competed so well, and even here, again, competing against Morris, who's a very good defender, but then follows up with Fasolo, locks the ball in, and we get a stoppage there in our forward line. So really impressed with his work rate in that first quarter, although the stats sheet doesn't show that he was dominant. After that came because of that work rate.
And that persistence, as you say, then started to lead to some more positive things happening on the scoreboard.
Yeah, correct. And a couple of them were the Joe the Goose, but you've got to be in the right position to be able to get those. You've got to have the work rate to work back and work your opponent over. And this one here was great. We actually got back. We're going to have a close look at this clip later on from behind the goals. His work rate to get back there and influence, but a couple of really nice contested marks when he went up and took grabs. And I think what Collingwood fans love the most is that kicking action. That is unbelievable. He just never looked like missing any of them.
It looks at such a beautiful ball drop, and as you say, he looks so sure. You've got some confidence when he's kicking for a goal.
Absolutely. I didn't think any of those were going to miss at any stage. So again, just some good contested marking, good work rate. And look, although he's only had 9 possessions, he's had 6 contested, 3 contested marks, and more importantly, the 5 goals.
Now, you want to drill down on his work rate and anticipation from one of the earlier goals that he kicked.
Yeah, I just want to show a clip here from the goal that he worked back and got past Alex Fasolo and kicked the goal. It was a kick in for us, so we brought the ball in. Just have a look at the positioning of the Bulldogs' opponent. He went right up to the back of the stoppage. Darcy's here in the centre. He goes up to the contest with his opponent, just off so he can influence if he has to. As soon as we win the ball, he sprints forward. So the ball wasn't kicked to him, wasn't kicked to his advantage, it was kicked to Fasolo. But Darcy worked back, and he worked his man over going back that way. There wasn't enough of that on the night. Players were just too happy to allow the Bulldogs defenders just to dictate where they wanted to stand. Darcy worked up with him towards that contest, and as soon as we won the ball, we turned around and sprinted back and worked him over. So that work rate, he sprinted 100 metres in, that's what got him the goal. Well, the young star spoke with Collingwood media post-match.
I've been playing as a forward for the last 6 weeks since I've been at the club, so and then I spent a 21-week pre-season in defence. So for me, it's been about getting on top of that role and really just trying to get a level where I can compete at senior level. So I don't care where I play, AFL, VFL. Last week it didn't worry me because I know 4 quarters of footy I'm getting better. So I pride myself on my work rate and the ability to cover the ground. So you know, to have a few open goals means that you're working your opponent over and getting rewards. So that's satisfying on an individual basis, but to be honest, Matt, I don't care about bags of goals. I'd rather have a win at this stage. So I'm 0-3, so it must be a bit of a bad luck charm. So hopefully I can turn it around next week.
Well, certainly that'll give him an enormous amount of confidence, and he's already got one up on his famous father, Peter.
Well, he's actually got 42 up.
42?
42 up, yeah. We thought we might cut a little bit of vision of Peter Moore, just to have a bit of comparison, but It took him 45 games to kick a bag of 5, so he's got his old man covered at the moment. He actually kicked 7 in that game and then kicked 5 in the grand final replay against North Melbourne several rounds later. So he did back up and did it pretty quickly.
How similar are they?
I think just that marking action where the arms are straight up in the air, you can see how long the arms are, but also the kicking action. He looked very certain as well, Peter Moore, when he's having his shots at goal. So great to see, and look, it's exciting for Collingwood fans. I think just as disappointing as the game was, it's great to see the emergence of Darcy, and for those who watched Peter over such a long period of time, pretty exciting to see his son run around as well.
No question. I think what we're going to see in 2, 3, 4 years' time, it's going to be very, very exciting. What else is exciting, Maxie, is your Collingwood shop special.
Yes, the people in the shop in there, the team in the shop, they've been very creative. They've got the Brody Bunch, they've called it. So have a look at that clip there. If you buy 2 items from the Brody Bunch, magnificent modelling there by our man Brody Grundy, then there's a nice little discount in it for you. So jump on the shop special.
All right, Maxie, let's hope for a win next week. Thanks for tuning in. It's on to Melbourne, back at the MCG on Saturday afternoon. See you next week. Go Pies.